Some devils. J-dawg back to answer some more goddamn questions. Before we get to the goddamn questions, though, we got a concerned devil that sent me an email. I don't know if it really is much of a concern, but more of a kind of a, I don't know what the fuck you call it. Just a heads up. So from who was it from again? I saved the email. It's from Aaron Puffenbarger. Sent me an email to yours truly at the service at Hell's Headbangers. Yo, J-dawg, just want to say my 11-year-old son and I watch your videos every morning. What I like to hear, brah. Try to get more guys fucking watching. Got to get them view count ups. Some may say my son is too young for J-dawg's content. Some probably would say that. But I say, hell no, I'm not raising my kids to be pussies that are scared of everything. Yeah, I agree with that too. Like, and the thing is I find it fucking kind of funny when people, my immediate circle think that they'll say like, oh, J-dawg's pretty negative and shit like that. I'm like, not really. I was like, being negative is trashing everything and not giving anything credit. On here, it may seem like I'm negative, certain things. I was like, but you asked my opinion, so I'm going to give an honest answer. Look at all the shit I give praise to. People that I know that is negative is they don't like fucking anything. I tell Craig that all the time. I'm like, dude, I can't even talk to you. You literally don't like any bands. You don't like any movies. I told him not even recently, point blank. It's not like me talking shit. I tell him straight to his face. Just did recently. Talk about movies. I was like, dude, but I was like, your opinion's unqualified. I was like, you literally do not like anything. Nothing. J-dawg likes tons of shit. I tell you about all the stuff that I like. So it's kind of funny. But if you ask me about Metallica Load or something, I'm going to give my honest fucking opinion, especially when the question's asked. Now, I'm not a negative Nancy either when I go over. If I see somebody wearing like whatever, a Pantera shirt or whatever, something, I don't go up there and bash them. I don't go there and just not talk to them. If they come up to me, I'm not like, Pantera sucks, bro. But if they fucking ask me, a.k.a. the dude at my gym 3 months ago, did you hear fucking Pantera's coming back, bro? You going to be at that show? Legitimately, the exact question he asked was like, no, I can't stand that fucking band. Or at least, quote, I can't stand the fucking fan base. Because I was asked. But I don't just go over there and just start bashing shit, because I believe you can like whatever the fuck you want to like. At the end of the day, I don't care what other people like at all. It doesn't bother me whatsoever, whether it's the same or indifferent. So yeah, I don't. Yeah, people being pussies about everything. That's another thing too. Is yeah, just keep hiding from everything. Just remember, like fucking King Diamond says, basically what the song "Evil's" about. Without evil, there is no good. So always bear that in mind. My son listens to everything from Cannibal Corpse to Mortician, stuff that I grew up on too, brah, and in a bunch of other heavy shits. But yeah, those hits, Cannibal Corpse and Mortician were some of the earliest bands I started onto. Sacred Reich being the first metal band, legitimately got into. But as far as death metal, Cannibal Corpse was the very first. Mortician was probably about fifth or sixth, very early on though. I was 13 when I heard Mortician, and then saw them live in 1999 when I was 14. I have two other sons, but they are younger and not into music yet. Yes, even 11's pretty young. Like I said, I first heard it, Sacred Reich, when I was 10. That's when I started liking it. But yes, at 10, 11, it's generally people get into music, especially if it's extreme music. It seems like around age 14, 15. That's kind of like the norm. Music yet? Just wanted to let you know that you have fans of all ages. What I like to hear, brah. Hope it's from fucking age 10 all the way up to goddamn 95. My son, actually, yeah, put in the comments how your age too. Who is the oldest motherfucker that watches the old goddamn dog? I doubt it's anybody that's 95. That would be fucking hilarious. My son cracks up when you go off on posers. Try to make it entertaining. He will replay your parts of your videos over and over and laugh his ass off. Glad to be of service. My son even asked me if next time we go to Ohio, we could stop by the Hell's Warehouse and meet you in person. Yeah, that totally works. Just make sure to give me a few days heads up if you're heading up, so that way I can tell you what kind of time I'm going to be there and shit. Because, I mean, coming up, I don't want you to waste your fucking time. And I kind of want to be at it, because when I'm always up there, I'm working. But yeah, I would stop and, say hi, take a photo, whatever the fuck you want. But yeah, just give me a little bit of heads up. That way, show up at 6 p.m. Oh, he's not here. I was like, well, I could have told you I wasn't going to be there at that time. Well, if you feel like shouting out my son in a video, that would make his day. His name is Ian. Keep up the good work, J-dawg, and keep slaying the fucking posers. So yeah, this is a goddamn shout out to fucking Ian. Probably the youngest goddamn devil watching. Hope there's other young devils. Put your goddamn age in there. If I know there's like a 15-year-old or so watching. So yeah, Ian, glad to hear you like the heavy shit. Hopefully you'll be around at age 30. Like we say, most of them fall the fuck off. Just know and understand that you're going to have slightly probably a harder fucking life with it because the outside people don't like it. They frown upon it, especially when you start to wear really extreme shit. If it comes, the Cannibal Corpse, Butchered at Births, or any of the satanic stuff. But the way I see it is fuck them. Be an individual, be you. You don't want any criticism, say nothing, be nothing, do nothing. And yeah, you won't get any goddamn criticism whatsoever. So, and as far as I'm concerned, the people that they hate on it, they're just boring, mundane fucking people. That's just sheep that don't think for themselves 90% of the time. I don't go out hating on them. There's people that I actually like and semi-friends with that are of the complete norms, but most of them can't think for themselves whatsoever. So they're the ones, in my opinion, that are missing out. You got one window of time. Everybody was given roughly 80 years on this fucking planet, give or take, whatever the fucking life expectancy is. May as well just, whatever the time year is, to do the things that you enjoy. Doesn't matter what year you're born. Whether you're born 1800, you lived to 1880, but 1900 to 1980, or 2020 to fucking year 1300. You're given that time frame, 80 years or whatever the fuck it is. Assuming you don't die in a car wreck super soon or something tragic. But just, average lifespan. Do what makes you happy. Fuck everyone else. Who gives a shit what they think? That's what I say. So keep on watching, Ian. Hopefully you're around in years to goddamn come. And next video in line, then go on over questions. No such thing as nefarious metal. Only wimpy tampon boys whose vads can't handle toughness. Got that right, goddamn. Just kind of like I said fucking earlier. Which is mostly the people on the outside are just complete, utter fucking wimps, in my opinion. Ryan Exerta 2, J-dawg question. When you discover a hidden gem that is not on the radar of most people and long out of press, do you share it with your brother and talk about reissue, or just go pick it up and go about your day? Question mark. To be honest with you, these days, whether for better or worse, I don't really talk to my brothers much about music at all, unless it's business related. Like if I know it's something the three of us grew up on, and I'm like, kind of like say like Lord Gore or The Rotting. I'm like, hey, they contacted me, or I got in contact with them. We can reissue that, because I knew they owned those CDs as well. Because when I was a teenager, we all owned them. Stuff like that. But if something like Miasmatic Necrosis comes up when that came in the shop, I touch them like, check out this great band. I don't even bother. I don't even know what the fuck they listen to nowadays. As far as newer shit, do they listen to stuff? I have no idea. Don't really talk to them about that stuff. So, and I rarely see them in person. Anyways, I just see them at family functions. I never see them at the warehouse. So as far as what they check out and buy, to be completely honest, I have no fucking idea. Joe Deacon's question: what the fuck is nefarious NSBM? To be honest, I don't know myself, because the shit that's considered nefarious, I'm like, this is nefarious? To me, this is the wimpier shit. To be completely fucking honest, too, that's what kind of makes my dick itch slightly, is like, for example, I think Goat Moon, the music, is damn fucking good. When I first heard it, though, I was surprised. Because I did thought it was this nefarious stuff and this hateful stuff. And I just looked at it, I'm like, where's this? I was like, oh, this shit's unfinished. The ones that I looked at. So I don't see any Ku Klux Klan members, Nazis, fucking Hitlers, or blacks hanging from ropes. I was like, I don't see any of that shit. Whatever. I put it on. I was like, the first band that popped in my mind was Old Man's Child, especially with the keys and stuff. I'm like, what are these tough guy wannabe ass fucking pussies talking about? Like, they're so Cavalt and shit like that. And I'm not talking about Goat, I'm talking about the people, all the Cavalt guys buying them, because they're the same. I guarantee you, the guys in the comments, it's the same people that listen like them, Inquisition, Graveland, that they're the ones ripping on Cradle of Filth, Old Man's Child, even Dark Funeral now. I'm sorry, as far as extremity wise, as far as extreme black metal, bands like Dark Funeral is way more fucking extreme than Goat Moon. Way more. I mean, you hear those goddamn keyboards and fucking Willow sounding parts, which I actually enjoy. I like, again, I'm not knocking it, but I didn't. If I knew nothing, I never heard of the band Goat Moon, I checked it out, I would never thought this is Cavalt fucking nefarious black metal. That's how that fan base is coming off. I'm like, dude, this is, if anything, this is kind of like, I'm not going to say it's wimpy, but if I was like coming on this channel recommending Goat Moon, and I knew nothing about the fan base, nothing about them whatsoever, wasn't in the business world, knew nothing about talking about nefarious, I would reference them as kind of like, here's another wimpier one that I like next to the Cradle of Filth, Old Man Childs, and Dave Eberg. They're more in that category than they are of extreme black metal. To me, extreme black metal is Dark Funeral, Unlord, Morgul, Cythereal, who the fuck am I forgetting? The Blast, Marduk, Panzer Division Marduk. What the fuck? That's way more fucking extreme than anything Goat Moon's ever done. That doesn't mean it's better. I'm not saying that. I mean, personally, I do like Marduk better, but I'm saying if somebody's like, Goat Moon's my favorite band, I'm like, I get it. It makes sense. But to me, it's not that. I didn't really consider them extreme. I parked it right next to Old Man's Child. So it's funny, like, what is Nefarious Black Metal? I don't know. Granted, I have an educated guess as to what they're referring to. Pretty sure it's the Goat Moons. Pretty sure it's Inquisition. Pretty sure it's Graveland. Pretty sure it's not Vlad Tepes. Who else would they consider nefarious? Probably Satanic War Master. Well, Satanic War Master, they're kind of like, I don't know, Satanic War Master extreme black metal. I kind of consider it just Satanic War Master traditional, well-written black metal, kind of what you would expect when I think of the word black metal. It doesn't hit any of the trends where it's the blast and black metal, it's the keyboard black metal. It's kind of like just stripped down raw black metal, but they get the nefarious part. But to me, nefarious is something that's like, especially musically, that's just extreme or bad or like appalling. That's what comes to my mind when I think of that. So I have a pretty good educated guess of what people consider as nefarious, but my opinion is I don't know because I don't think anything nefarious on. I put on Graveland. I'm like, what is this wimpy ass shit? At least, again, the album that I said I checked out, which one did I say I was on the channel? People are like, oh, that's the suckier one. Check out so and so. Maybe they have better albums. But again, two things. It's kind of like 2 strikes, you're fucking out for me. You don't get 3 strikes. I checked out Blood of Heroes, I think it was 7-inch, like 20 years ago. Literally came in. I literally listened to side E. I'm like, this is unfucking listenable. Didn't even put on side B. I never checked out everything since. Checked them out 2-3 months ago. I showed you the album on camera, whichever. I was like, it was better than I remember. The 7-inch. I was like, there's no way I need this. I was like, and this is pretty weak in my opinion. I was like, Unlord sends this home on a fucking stretcher. It's not even a fucking competition. None whatsoever. Maybe they have better rounds, but I'm kind of like not too encouraged. I'm like, first one sucked, second one sucked. What else? I mean, kind of don't need it. But I'm sure they're nefarious though. I know what I know what the NSBM part is, but what's with the addition of nefarious? I don't know, man. When I hear nefarious, I think of the bass player Macabre. Got that straight, goddamn it. That's what the fuck I'm thinking too. It's the only thing that should be crossing your mind. Most of them fucking pussy boys probably don't even listen to Macabre. One of the most original bands of all time, too. Like, it's funny because all that screechy, nefarious black metal that all sounds the fucking same for the most part, especially the ultra raw shit like Vlad Tepes and stuff like that. And there's all these clone bands. I'm like, I literally couldn't even tell the first band apart, no less all the others. But something great like Macabre, whose original masterpiece, to this day, show me one goddamn band that sounds like Macabre. Show me one. I've never heard one. The closest thing I ever heard of is the band Scurvy. They did 2 demos. There's a compilation CD LP. I have, of course, goddamn, I think they're from Finland. Don't quote me on that. I think Finland or Sweden. I think so. And they did a 7-inch as well. The only thing that kind of sounds like Macabre is the highs. It sounds like some of the Corporate Death's highs. That's it. But even the music, it's just like Death Grind. Doesn't sound anything like Macabre. But the vocals, it's like, oh, this sounds like Corporate Death. That's the closest thing I have ever heard that sounds like Macabre. But even albums, like especially when they kind of started getting their later albums, which I love the later albums personally. Matter of fact, I think I kind of like them more, to be honest with you. But I like all of them. Gloom and Sinister Slaughter and Grim Reality and all that. Love all that shit. But my favorite is probably Dahmer and take Dahmer. What band sounds like Macabre Dahmer? Show me another one. Never heard of them in my life. You can find 10,000 fucking bands that sound like a tune. That's for goddamn sure, though. 28 Nihilist. How often do you get sick? Very fucking rare. But well, actually, let me rephrase that. Depends on what your definition of sick is. Talk about pussy boys and tampon boys, too. They think if you got a runny nose, oh, I'm sick, I gotta stay home. No, dude, get your fucking thumb out of your vag. What are you talking about? That's just you got the sniffles. Be honest with you, pretty much all winter, for all my life, I always have a goddamn runny nose. I think I just have a nose that's sensitive to the cold because anytime, like when I was working at Burger King too, and I had to do kind of like some of the inventory in the freezer, they say it was summertime, I'd get a runny nose. Like right now, I have a runny nose. I've had it since goddamn November, literally, but it's like that every year. So somebody go, oh, he's blowing his nose, he's sick. I'm like, it's not sick. Sick to me is you're bedridden and can't make it to work or school. How often does that happen? I think personally that's my genetic gift. This is somebody take somebody like Flex Wheeler or Kevin Levrone. Their genetic gift was clearly being a phenomenal fucking bodybuilder. Had genetics, they had the structure. genetics to build max amount of muscle and burn body fat and just the actual shape and structure too. That was their goddamn genetics. Health genetics seems like Flex Wheeler got fucking fucked. If you don't know who Flex Wheeler is, look him the fuck up. Probably the greatest bodybuilder of all goddamn time, physique wise. But look where he is at now. Just missing a leg, everything. So he got fucked with health genetics, in my opinion. Me, I got lucky just, the genetics of not getting sick because, I take care of myself. I do cardio all the time, year round, for pretty much 7 days a week, to be honest with you. 5 for minimally. I weight train. I take a shit ton of fucking health supplements. 80, my diet's 80% clean and then probably 20% fucking trash. When I'm dieting, it's like 90 fucking 8% clean and 2% trash. So that helps, but I don't even know if it's that. I think it's just mostly genetic because even when I was a teenager and shit, I ate terrible. My teenage years, from 16 and shit, I worked at Burger King and Pizza Hut, both. I told you I worked 7 days a goddamn week purposely. And I literally ate Burger King and Pizza Hut every single day, one or the other, whichever one I was working at, sometimes both. If it was a Saturday, I ate Burger King for fucking breakfast and lunch, and then Pizza Hut for fucking dinner. Why? Because I worked there and it was free. I graduated high school at 125 pounds, super fucking skinny, and I never, ever got sick. As a matter of fact, I never skipped school intentionally, so I never got sick. So when I graduated, I got an award for the only kid that made all years, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th, and 12th grade, with not missing one day of school, perfect attendance. I'm like, well, why would I skip? I'm just going to have to take that shit home anyways and do it at home. Who the fuck wants to do that? And I was like, who's sick? Who gets sick? I was like, people do it all the time. I never did. I think it's kind of like, I never see my dad get sick either when we're kids. So I think it's maybe a genetic trait from them. A couple of my brothers are similar to me. They don't get, Chase seems like he gets sick the most from what I hear and see. It seems like at least twice a year. In my adult years, I literally only been sick once. When I say adult years, 20 and up. So, and I'm 38 now. And it was from food poisoning at the Medina Fair. Got sick as fuck from that. Everything else, there's a couple days I missed a day of work here and there because I couldn't make it in, but it was actually because I was fucking hungover. And it wasn't intentional because I'm not a big drinker. It was we went out and somebody was giving me mixed drinks and shit, and I felt terrible the next day. That happened twice. But again, I don't count. That was a fucking hangover. That was twice in my adult years. The food poisoning one, take that back. No, I was sick twice in my adult years. Take that back. It was 2019 and I think 2020. And no, it wasn't COVID. It was I don't know what the fuck it was. I think it was something food related too. I had the exact same thing around. Actually, it's funny, around this time, around March, when my food volume gets super fucking high. I think it was basically my body telling me, "Fuck you, we're not doing it no more." And I got voraciously sick for about 36 hours, I would say. And then I was recovered. So whenever I did I got recovered real fast. So only twice in my entire adult years. My childhood years, I remember being sick once, like in the 2nd grade, and once in like the 5th grade, and that was it. So I've probably been sick in totality maybe 5 times in my life. Actual sick, like you're in bed, you can't go to school, can't go to work. Again, sniffles don't fucking count. That's pussy shit, brah brah. But again, I don't like to knock on fucking cool. Now that I said that, I'll probably be sick as fuck tomorrow. But I think that's just a genetic gift, kind of like the medical mystery. How the fuck is Ozzy Osbourne alive? I've been saying, how the fuck is Ozzy Osbourne alive since I was 16 years old? That's just genetics. He's not doing anything, like he's not taking any special supplements or anything to be healthy. I think he works on his health now. It's like, but what the fuck, dude? You should have been 20 years before you even started on it. So it's not because of anything. That guy was, if you know his past, because I'm an Ozzy fan for sure, especially Black Sabbath, early Ozzy Osbourne fan. You hear the stories and shit like that. That guy he wasn't just abusive to his body. He was above and beyond. Like even guys that are abusive are like, dude, what are you doing? Like, that's just, you're an idiot. Like, who the fuck does that? Like, he was just beyond crazy abusive. But he's in his 70s. Hell, he needs to die tomorrow. That's impressive. How the fuck did he live that goddamn long? Who the fuck knows? Actually, I do know. It's genetic. It's just flat out genetic. Genetics rule supreme in everything. Just like, how do you get that fucking person that smokes for years and years and years and lives to be 90? And people say that line all the time. I actually know someone that did too. This guy that did our boxes, his name was Don. He died just 2 years ago. He was like 93, and he smoked all his life. He just quit a couple years ago or something. I forget. He told me why, whatever. He was walking, driving, everything, coming to the warehouse, everything. Old as fuck, 93 years, lived to be 93 years old, but smoked for a pack of cigarettes for over 50 years. Point blank told me that. That's fucking crazy. How the hell does that happen? Look it up, too. I heard about it. It was Dave Palumbo talking about it on the channel, joking. The person now, the oldest person alive, it was a female. She either is alive or just died. One of the world records. She's 120 years old living or died at 120, 125, something. One of the oldest people in existence ever. And this is in recent times. She smoked a pack of cigarettes every single day until she was in her 90s. And the only reason she quit is because she was sick and tired of asking people to light the cigarette for her because she couldn't do it herself. I don't know how she wouldn't be able to do it. Maybe the lighter hurt her thumbs. I don't know. Couldn't light it herself, so she was embarrassed for asking people to asking people to light it for her. So she quit. So she started when she was like in her 20s or whatever. I think that's what it was. Made it to her 90s smoking and is either still alive or made it another 30 years or whatever. So 120 years old, but smoked a pack of cigarettes every day. That's a medical mystery. How the fuck does that happen? Again, it's not because she's doing anything special. It's just because it's fucking genetics. That's why I don't worry too much about shit. Well, people are like, oh, this and that, or it's just like, dude, your genetics are gonna decide anyways. Do the best you can, take care of yourself. Don't be a complete fucking idiot. Don't be drinking gallons of soda pop and just stupid shit that people do on a regular basis. Do the best you can, but don't overthink it. Just don't be a just do the best you can, and you're probably doing better than 80% of society. It's like, honestly, your genetics are gonna decide the outcome anyways. You're gonna die of something. So it's going to be something. Is it going to be heart failure? Is it going to be cancer? It's going to be something because you're not going to live forever. So let's get one more in here, goddammit. Layla Lover 90, question. What are some band members you have met that were cool as hell of bands you couldn't care less about? Oh, shit. A ton. Um, the dude, I don't know if he's still, there's a local band called Thou Shalt Not. The dude, Kyle, he used to go to my gym. I haven't seen him in years, though. He gave me the demo. I listened. I was like, it's kind of like later Morbid Angel Worship. It didn't suck. I'm like, but it's something I would buy. He was a cool as fuck, dude. I used to say for years Somnus, but I picked up the Somnus albums recently on eBay. I saw them live all the time. It's like Cradle of Filth, Dame Borger. Oh man, Goat Moon fans, maybe check out Somnus, goddammit. That's the thing. That's what busts me up about them bozos too. They'll be the first ones to say, this is pussy black metal. I'm like, this is right up the alley of Goat Moon. Like, what are you talking about? It has more keyboards, I'll admit, and female vocals, but I was like, it's Somnus is closer to the style of Goat Moon than goddamn Goat Moon is closer to Dark Funeral or Marduk. That's for goddamn sure. So I used to say Somnus because I liked Scott. Scott was the coolest in it. Steve was cool as fuck. Rhea, I didn't know her too well, but I've talked to her a few times. She was always super friendly, her and her mom. So I used to say, Somnus was a band I didn't care about, but I liked but I liked the people. But I don't know. I bought the disc. I actually kind of like them. Who else? Trying to think. It's probably would be local bands. Like who's a local band? Because I see them regularly. I'm drawing a kind of a blank. I mean, I'm looking around. Why am I looking around? If I have it, if it's on my wall, it means I like it a lot. Kind of drawing a blank, but no, that definitely happens. I met guys that the person themselves I think are very very cool. Oh, Reed from Speedwolf. I think Speedwolf is just whatever. Did I buy it? Like I said, we put it out. It was a good seller. I thought Reed was a really really nice guy. And everybody I know that's ever met him, whether it's been Craig or Don, my brothers, they all he's just a really really cool guy. But Speedwolf for me, I'm like, Motorhead worship type stuff. Is it something I would buy? No. I was like, so basically a band I don't care about. But yeah, I liked him as a person. So there's a perfect example and a relevant one, kind of on the label. So yeah, but there's a ton. I mean, I'm drawing a blank, but go with those. Comes questions, you know the fuck to do. Put in the comments box, get answer by the morning. Later, goddamn it.